Okay, I'm Beck Lane, and this is Catalyst and Company. Catalyst and Company, we're a catalyst in each other's lives as well as our own, hopefully. And we work at being the artists we've always wanted to be. Or that's what I say anyway. So today I'm doing a thing that I haven't done on camera in I don't know how long. I have some paintings that are being, picked up later today. Sorry, I gotta find the camera. There it is. Being picked up later today, and I didn't prep them. I should have done this days ago, but I did not. Normally what I do is this. I aerosol the edges and then I glaze them, but today I am just aerosoling the edges with colors that are in the paintings. So what I'm doing is adding a frame without adding a frame, and it's become a signature of mine, and I've noticed a number of other people have been copying, and that irritates the shit out of me, but I'm gonna do it anyway while I figure out a new way to present the work. My work cannot be framed. It really can't, because we go from this expansive feel. This is something very hoity-toity that I came up with. We go from the paintings feeling expansive, and people, I've talked to enough people where I understand they get lost in the painting and the brushstrokes and all that snobby stuff. But once it goes into a frame, suddenly they feel claustrophobic and small. So I don't frame. I do this instead. Again, I'm add layers, colors and layers and blah, blah, blah that are in the painting to help frame it in a way. So that's what I'm up to, and I did have a fan on before somebody tells me to be a good example and have ventilation. I did have my fan on, but I turned it off for this. So it is, let me grab some more paint. It is January 2nd, and I have to say, January did not start off on a high note. Before I grab another color, or rather, it's January 2nd, 2024, and 2024 did not start off on a high note. It started off on a George Bailey scaring the shit out of me note. As 2023 ended on a pretty low note. And I'm not saying that so you feel sorry for me. I'm just letting you know where I've been. A number of things were going on and not going on that were supposed to go on or not supposed to go on. And I got lost in frustration and sadness and did what I do, which is go in my little hidey hole after trying, I go in my little hidey hole like a rabbit and disappear for a bit. And it's funny, I was thinking about it this morning because 2023 was the year of the rabbit, and I behaved exactly like a rabbit. I was born in the year of the rabbit. It was the year of the rabbit, and I realized this morning I behave exactly like a rabbit. When the sun is out and things are wonderful and it's warm and sunny and there's lots of clover and, opportunities, I run around like a madman. But as soon as there are predators, I can take one or two predators, but when there are too many predators, I go in my hidey hole and I'm done. The clover dries up, the sun goes away, and I go in my hidey hole. So that is why I have not been on YouTube or making videos to possibly maybe kind of help somebody somewhere in my little attempts to kind of sort of help somebody somewhere. I just can't. I ended up with too many people telling me what I should do and who I should be, and it just got exhausting. and how I could be better, and how I shouldn't have the goals that I shouldn't have, and I shouldn't think that high, but think high, but don't, and it gets wearing. Nobody really listening to me on what I want to do, or people not having the ability to comprehend being bigger, or being more. But a lot of it was people just not listening and just putting demands on me. Really bizarre demands sometimes. So, went in a hidey hole. However, where's that can? We had one, sorry, I'm being a little cryptic, but things, where's that can I just had in my hand? Oh, there it is. January 1st was a very frustrating, upsetting day. Things got weirder and weirder and weirder and more horrible. So I was outside the hidey hole, and then I went back in the hidey hole. But today I woke up and I was like, you know what? I have a venue where we're going to be hanging up work later today, and I'm just going to go forward, and hopefully things will stay on that trajectory. I was not loving 2024 yesterday at all. At all. But the point is to keep moving forward, keep moving as best you can. So what I'm using are a bunch of stencils that I've cut out or I've found to create shapes. I spray the colors in the shapes, and when I'm done, it doesn't really matter what shapes I've used, because they can tend to meld together just a little bit. I hope you can hear me. Meld together just a little bit, but they do accentuate the colors on the front, the colors of the actual painting. And that's what we want, or what I want. Yeah, yesterday was a bit of a George Bailey day. Yeah, so I've got the painting up on an ironing board, which has turned out to be my favorite easel, or one of them. I discovered the ironing board as an easel earlier in 2023, because it can accommodate the large canvases that I use, the larger canvases as well as the smaller canvases that I use. And I love that you can raise and lower it and just lean the canvas against the wall. It's everything I like. Normally I use chairs and boxes, ladder back chairs and boxes, and 2x4s or pieces of wood shelving. But then I discovered the ironing board. So as you can see, I pick these up periodically and check the colors, what color needs to go on next. Normally when I'm doing the stencils and the coloring around the side, the edges, I'll make them pretty intricate in layers and layers and layers of colors. But these are going to be, I have two paintings that have to be wired and signed and all that stuff by sometime today, so I'm not going into as much detail as I normally would. They're going into a venue where most likely nobody's going to buy anything, so I'm not going to worry about it. However, if somebody goes, oh, I have to have that, if like a miracle occurs and somebody says, oh, I have to have it, then I'll say, yes, we'll make the sale or we'll make the deal, and then we'll take care of the edges later. We'll take care of really finishing them off later. I've got pink in there. What do I need? Let's see. It's not something I stress about. I've learned not to stress about that. But honestly, after yesterday, I just applied the black and white gesso, and I'm like, nobody will care. I'm just going to leave it as is. However, on the 2nd of January, so far, the world hasn't fallen apart, so we're going to move forward. I read all these messages online or posts online from people who are like, Happy New Year, New Year, New You, New Year, New Me, New Year, New Blah. And it actually depresses the shit out of me. It's like, what land do you live in? Although I used to be more like that. I would walk into the new year with my head held high and like, we're going to change the world. But 2024 kind of petered out, and I got tired and frustrated, and like nobody was listening. Not nobody, but, people weren't listening, and I was being talked at. And it makes me sad. When I'm saying this, because I think most people feel this way. But this online thing where we have to be positive and we constantly have to put our best foot forward and be the best person we possibly can. Sometimes being the best person you possibly can is just taking a shower. Or it involves maybe leaving and your place and going for a walk. And I was so glad a couple years ago when I heard the term toxic possibility, or toxic positivity, because for a while there, when we started this channel, I was literally the only one doing this that anybody could find, that I could find, that anybody could find. And I believe I am the only artist who has recorded 10 years on YouTube, 10 years of making work and their life and all the ups and downs and all the crap we've been through. I think this is it. And I haven't always been happy. There's quite, long periods of time where I've been like, what the? Why is it constantly an avalanche? And people would send me messages or talk to me in person about, being more positive and presenting a more positive view and positive. And it's just, I find it really upsetting and incredibly depressing because that's not life. It's not real. And it frustrated me. So when the term toxic positivity came out, I was like, oh, thank God, somebody understands. And now I hear therapists like, no, it is demeaning and humiliating, and it is toxic, and it does drive people into depression. I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one to notice. It's like the emperor, the emperor wears has no clothes on. I felt like I was in a crowd of people where the emperor's walking by and he's totally naked. And I'm going, the MF has no clothes on. The MF is totally naked and everybody else is going, oh, that's a wonderful outfit. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so shiny. It's so pretty. It's not always pretty. So what I really like is hearing from people who are like, oh, my life. Not because I want people to, or did I already use that color? No, I used a similar one. Not that I want people depressed and sad. Just I want to hear real. Okay, that's almost empty. I want to hear real. I find it reassuring. Find it reassuring and also not validating, but more human than, you know, the whole TikTok, Instagram-y perfect life thing. It's not real and it bothers me. So, we're going to continue just being ourselves all here and recording the life that we have, we share. Because the people that reach out to me who are like, I am so happy to hear that there are other people like me in the world and things are going great and I'm not, you know, vacationing in Monaco and having some guy follow me around with a camera while I twirl around in a dress. You know, it's just, I hate fake. So there's a place here where we're not fake, we're not pretending. And those, you know, this is our safe space, children. Where we're trying to live our best life. And shit goes sideways. Yesterday, shit went sideways. But it's January 2nd, so we're going to try again. We hit the reset button on 2024. It's going to be our best year yet. Let's just make it through. You know, it's funny when, before the whole Trump train came to town, I just felt like every day could be an event, or almost every day could be an adventure. And there was endless possibilities, but like so many people, so many people around the world. 2016 hit, and the world started to fall apart, and we're still going through it. So we've got people that are actually horrible, that have sucked all the air out of the room. And then we've got other people who are online going, look at, I'm fantastic, I'm beautiful, and I can put on makeup, and I'm prettier than you, and I'm awesome, and I'm super positive all the time, this Lululemon shit. So there's constantly this war of people trying to suck all the air out of the room while other people are like, I am the air in the room. I'm not doing that. Let's just not. Let's just be realish. So I almost kind of done-ish with this one, as done as I'm going to make it today. Because the aerosol dries fast. But I'm going to also add wire to the back. I'm going to make these hanger ready, and they have to be hanger ready you know, I want to have them hanger ready within the hour. And then they'll have to sit and dry while the aerosol finishes drying. And then, like I said, if somebody decides that they want to buy one at this venue these are headed to, great, I'll finish the whole thing up. But right now it's just like getting as much done as I can, as much as will pass for the moment. But yeah, I wasn't excited about where these are headed because I've already done this venue. I've done it once. I offered to do it again, and then I don't know, things when anyway, it didn't happen the second time, and I was like, okay, fine. But this play, serendipitously, this play is okay, I'm trying to remember what it's about. About a woman, I think, who goes to London, a woman who dresses like a man and goes to London and turns out to be Shakespeare or something. It's a new play. It's written by a playwright that isn't famous yet. But it's going. Oh, sorry. More coffee. Anyway, it's at a theater called Urbanite Theater here in Sarasota. And that what they do is plays and performances that haven't been seen before. So I'm really excited about my work kind of participating in it because I love Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare so much. I love Shakespeare. My favorite play, I'm just going to keep talking while I do this. My favorite play is Hamlet. Mr. Roberts is another favorite play of mine, but Shakespeare didn't write it, and we're talking about Shakespeare. So, there we go. Anyway, this play that I can't remember the name of, and I sort of remember the premise of, is going on at Urbanite Theater, and I'm hoping I get to see it, because I love Shakespeare, and I think it would be super fun. So what we've got going is work or paintings I've done where there are women that are being fairly explicit about being gender neutral. Some, I have 2 Frida Kahlos going. I actually maybe have a couple of self-portraits going, and I don't do self-portraits, but I do have 2 going over. Or I've done a couple of self-portraits, but I don't show them because it's really dumb. But we're doing it anyway. And then I've also got so many paintings that the woman who will organize this, when she comes over later, I'm going to give her some other choices. We'll just put everything out and see what sticks. We'll throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. But I'm hoping to see this because I love Shakespeare on a weird level. And I want to end this on a higher note. I love two things converged last week, or before the end of the year. My love of Shakespeare and my love of Andrew Scott, the actor. And Andrew Scott played Moriarty in Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. He was also he was in Fleabag. He was in Frankenstein, I think. He's a trained Shakespearean actor, as is Benedict Cumberbatch, as is Martin Freeman, as a ton of actors that I love. If I could live in London at the Globe, I would be the happiest person in the world, or backstage at the National Theatre. I'd be beside myself all the time, 24 hours a day. But so back to Andrew Scott. He is Hamlet in this one production that you can find on YouTube. It is absolutely phenomenal. It is everything you would hope it would be. It is Andrew Scott being Andrew Scott, playing with his fingers and in his shirt while he's delivering the lines beautifully. All the other actors and actresses are all Shakespearean, trained at the National Theater in the Globe and performing at the Globe. Every single square second of this performance is perfection. So if you get a chance, Andrew Scott in Hamlet, I've now watched it 4 or 5 times or had it playing. It's like a dream come true. I did see the Benedict Cumberbatch version live from the National Theater when I lived in Providence, Rhode Island. I saw it with a couple friends of mine. It was phenomenal. Don't tell Benedict I said this, but Andrew Scott, better, even more beguiling. It's his tiny movements, his tiny flourishes while he's delivering his lines. There's not one misstep. And and it's the type of thing that I really appreciate because it's what I go for in my work as well. Not a single missed brush stroke. Not a single brush stroke that is off. I don't always do it, like in a performance with an actor. I don't always accomplish that, but I try to make sure that every square inch of the canvas is covered. Every square inch has its own painting within it, even the edges. So today is like a dress rehearsal or a read through where I'm doing the edges. They're not completely finished. It's okay for right now. But once the work is sold or has a possibility of sold or comes home, then we finish it off. Then we make sure that it is as perfect for us as we can get it. So we're not presenting our work as amateurish or half-assed. Ta-da! All right, I'm Beck Lane. This is Catalyst & Company. If you'd like to help support Catalyst & Company, all the links are down below, as well as the contact info for my different galleries, or you can DM me if you have any questions. Write it in the comment section, or DM me at Beck Lane. DM me. DM me through Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Anyway, all the links are down below. All right, so January 2nd, 2024, reboot. Let's do this again. Let's have a better day and move forward. Live, laugh, love. Ciao. Ciao, Carrie. Ciao. And, oh, wait a minute. I don't have to do that. Ready? Meow, meow, meow. Boink.